Yo, father of finesse. Yo, thank you for that follow. I appreciate you, father. What's up, Ryan? How are you, my man? What's up? What's up? Hope you're having a good day. If you have time, let's hear it, Ryan. I'll do it right now. I know you usually got bounced about halfway through. Yo, what up, blind? How you doing? I see your love on Twitter. The thread I retweeted earlier. Go real quick. I'm gonna show me which one I'm talking about. This one, the Wick. Cyborgs. This one, huh? The backfill. Yeah, it's good to hear, blind. You got the Wick. Okay, so I think Cyborg actually gives a really good thread right here on it. Just basically like these basically these wicks that happen so quickly, and this is the 4 hour, right? These wicks that happen so quickly, they want to fill, right? Like they want to backfill. They basically, it's like it's not like a fair value gap. I mean, that's not really what the definition of would be. A fair value gap would be more of like the candles here, but it's just basic liquidity, pools of liquidity. They want to, so like right here, right, we have, this is the 5 minute, so this is the 4 hour Cyborg's using there. The 5 minute, like they're gonna want to fill this wick happened in a matter of, you know, 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, 5 minute down and 5 minute up. So that's just basically what it means. It's just the law of liquidity means that this gets filled probably before, let's say, like let's zoom out here. This wick will get backfilled. This is the 1 hour, right? We could chop here. We could just, you know, and then eventually fill this. This wick will get filled, in my opinion, before, probably before this gets breached, but definitely before this gets breached. And again, that's kind of the law of liquidity. We just had a kind of a capitulation event. That's really what that was. It was highly leveraged longs on alts just got wiped out. So they're going to want to backfill this. That's all it means. It's not a, you know, it's not crazy. It's not a crazy concept. It's just, it's like the law of liquidity. There's a lot different laws of liquidity, right? Like they want to, so here's another law of liquidity. This is kind of good that we're looking at this X right here that I just marked up here. You know, usually this seems to me like an unfinished top. Now I'm going to use previous examples. We'll go to here to the daily, right? You know, this looks like an unfinished top. Is it really? You know, it's uncertain. We got to go really down to lower time frames and see if they kind of swept. And you can see how on this 5 minute at the top, they had good price action. They never swept this. So if you got in on a short here, now this is not wrong 5 minute tops. Oh no, this is perfect. This is perfect. So this is a very typical top. This is the 5 minute, but on Solana. But again, if you look at the 1 hour, it doesn't look like a top, but you look at the 5 minute, it looks like a top. We had a high here and we swept, never coming back since the sweep here. And yo, thank you, Joe, for that follow. TDZM Beer, thank you for the follow. And Batuchan Cox, thank you for the follow. Yo, Pecker, thank you for that follow. I see you. Anyways, so on the 5 minute, this looks like a very clean top. In the grand scheme of things, like a 1 hour, 4 hour, and this is, I'm going over kind of just the laws of liquidity. That's, you know, again, this is no different. They want to probably fill this wick. Do they need to fill this wick? Not really. As you can see on that 5 minute, we go back down here to the 5 minute. 5 minute had actually a clean top structure. How do I know this is a clean top structure? Well, I've been doing this long enough to know, like, this this is a signature top. Now I can use many examples. I'll just use the one off the top of my head. We're going to use the 3-day Bitcoin here because 3-day Bitcoin has actually a really good similar top. And in fact, let's go to the daily. The daily is even better. And again, these are all in just respect of the top, in respect to the time frame, right? This, as you can see, right, we had a high, swept. They had that very similar slant pattern, and then it was all downhill after that, right? This is the daily top Bitcoin. Again, do they have to go back up here on the 5-minute and sweep? Not necessarily. If you look at how Solana topped last time, we came over here in April, right? Everything dumped summer 2021. Everything did, right? You had an opportunity long summer 2021. Solana at the same price. You had an opportunity long half of this year. Half the year we spent at $20 or less. 2023, this last year. So you had an opportunity along those same prices that we saw. Like you can see, this is a fat range. This is like finance one. This is a big range. Top. Why? Here we go. My bad. Yeah. So here we go. Similar top here on Solana. Boom. 1, 2. Now this is the daily. This is a bull market. And if you go over here just to the 5-minute at where we local topped, trying to get into, this is how they usually, this is it's like they put on the top algo. And you see this on the 5-minute, and look, it's all been downhill since. The same exact top I just showed you on the daily Solana previous bull run, the daily Bitcoin previous bull run. This is a top structure. Now, had I been paying attention, I would love to grab this short. You zoom out, okay, and we look at, there's 2 wicks here in this kind of, this is, we'll call it a range, all right? We'll call this a range for Solana right now. Although I think it's losing its range. To me, it is, has lost this range. So we'll get to that in a second. Could you FOMO into a short here? You certainly could. I definitely think you could. I think this is going to be a slow bleed down. Bitcoin's going to decide the direction, not anything else. If Bitcoin keeps dipping and doesn't stabilize, alts aren't going to run, right? If Bitcoin can stabilize, alts are going to run. So again, Solana, technically, and like, you know, this is my chart I've been working on. You can see, look, I use this chart, mini scalps here. And so we have 2 areas of interest. We have one, and we have one we just made, right? Again, if you called this a range, and you call it a range, but the 1 hour breach here is pretty clean to me. See the 1 hour breach here. Solana is a good sign of where alts are going to go, in my opinion, but it doesn't mean all alts. That's the problem. People forget TRB was pumping. TRB before the obviously 600 scam pump, but TRB pumped from like, $9, $16, $20 to $60, $80 when Bitcoin was at 26K. So think about it. Bitcoin wasn't even a bull run, and we saw some bullish action on some alts. Bitcoin does not have to be bullish necessarily, but Bitcoin does have to be stable, right? So understand, Bitcoin, if it's not stable, it's not stable mindset to get into alt. That's my opinion. Now Bitcoin's trying to stabilize here. Bitcoin has a wick as well. It's kind of your point, Rand. Bitcoin has a wick right here. They're trying to fill back at just all time frames. It's getting close, getting close to filling this back. Maybe they produce 5-hour bullish divergence by bringing. Look, and then you can see how they're kind of trying to crawl it back. Problem is, I don't like to see a wick get filled necessarily this quickly, but if it does, I guess I believe, man, I believe getting a wick filled this quickly. We're talking 1 hour. We don't even have a green 1 hour. Okay. technically this is pretty bearish. Pick up our EMA and MA. If we don't even got probably as far as 5 minute here. They're trying to work it back. The 3 minute here. But I'd argue it's pretty concerning that we haven't made a 20 minutes left, a 1 hour green. But here's the 3 minute. You see how they got the 50 MA curling up. This would be the first. This is kind of they have to take this back. They can work back the 5 minute. This is Bitcoin, right? Again, we're trying to see Bitcoin going to stabilize here. Bitcoin going to stabilize. Our alts going to pump. Now, although there is this meme line here on Solana, I'm not playing Solana long yet. I'll just simply wait for Bitcoin to successfully bounce. You don't want to see alts trying to pump like Solana is. Solana is obviously down 10%. Inge down 11%. Inge, we'll have to get to Inge here in a second. Lost major support there. I don't like the fact that Solana has breached that monthly. Talked about this. We've been talking about it every day for a while. I said selling your Solana above 3 digits basically is a good move. And here we go. We could see the level. Here's the monthly. We came up here. We tapped the monthly perfectly. Really clean. Right, wick tap. Don't have a read on the historical volatility, so we can't really say too much to that nature. But we could say, because we are about into a weekly. This is not a good looking weekly, right? This is Wednesday. The fact we've lost the weekly open. We actually the weekly open on Solana 101.75. Kind of a lower time frame. I want to see if we backtest that 101.75. Didn't backtest. So this would be the mark for me, right? Open. I think this would be a good area to work. I think this could be a good area to long, start getting some price action above it. Does look like we are trying to get a pump here on Solana on the 5 minute, but this is low volatility. Could change here. 1 minute and 54 seconds left. Want to start seeing a 1 hour green. I mean, this is not the greatest bounce yet. But anyways, so that's kind of, that's the things you're looking at. I'll tell you what, Bitcoin, the fact that Bitcoin went up, reached range and came back down. We can see this. It bounced here overnight, made a lower high and came back down. We are on a fine line here, fam. This is obviously the trend, the meme line, whatever you want to call it. I would gamble. This is my opinion, right? Now, it doesn't mean I'm shorting here. I would gamble. We're going to hold this, okay, for a little bit and lose. Can't tell you how long we're going to hold it. Could lose it today. But this is the 21 EMA on the daily. This is a huge trend. We've bounced this 21 EMA a million times. I mean, in fact, we're starting to lose it. We haven't even tested the 50 MA. That's really important here. This would be my area for interest of a bounce. If we were going to go somewhere and bounce, this would be my area of interest. So I believe, all right, I hate to use the word I think. What the chart is telling me currently right now is that we want to go at least lower. We're going to have to go lower. And we're trapping longs. Okay, this is we're going to be trapping longs here. I can simply wait to long if I was going to long. Alts just got wiped out. I think it's important to be patient here. Again, from my gut says that breach of range here on Bitcoin yeah, it's deviation obviously of the highs here. Coming down here, daily trends getting weak. Oh, here's another thing where I was looking at here. 12-hour has this is trend, fear of trend being lost. This is pretty important trend, fam. 12-hour generally when we lose the 21 EMA. Again, I was playing this higher low, so I wasn't trying to short down here. But when you lose this 12-hour trend, it's usually signature of a big dump to come, a bigger dump to come. So this is worrisome. We've lost it, came back up here. We had a bounce, we failed. They protected the 46K very well, wiped out all liquidity, trapped some longs. Yeah. So we'll look at some alts that people are throwing out there. Give me some alts, fam, if you guys have some special requests. I do want to go over Inge. Let me go over Inge real quick, and you guys can throw it up in the chat while I go. Yeah, so all right, Inge, this is actually, I like this chart. Excuse me. I've been using this chart for a while. I was trying to play the fib, like I didn't know how high I was gonna go. Right here at the 1, 2, 3, 6, I really thought that was over. Look at this 12-hour. I mean, this is crazy. But all right, let's break this bad boy down, huh? All right, we got a nice large range here. Nice wick, right? We talk about the law of liquidity. We got really a nice wick to fill here. If we were gonna bounce, fam. Long. Again, this is what I was watching, right? Let's go to the 4-hour. This is simple, right? This is very simple, fam. Here's the 4-hour. Very similar to Solana. Very similar to a lot of other alts. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of the EMA and MA. So we lost the 4-hour trend, fam. We don't have much trend here on Inge. Let's see here. Let's see where the daily is. All right, we've lost the 21 EMA. That happened to be, fam. All right, at the same time that 4-hour support, right? You can see this falling wedge. Falling wedge failed to even, it was a nice move. Let's see if it measured out perfectly. It was a nice move. Could have played that falling wedge. It was slow, but we were trying to long that 34-35. The Discord got stopped out twice on this wick finally. But the second time got stopped out in that wick. But either way, you could see this falling wedge I was playing. It failed to break the highs. Trying to look for. Oh, falling wedge. Yeah, I mean, it didn't even. Here's the measured move of the falling wedge. It didn't even get close to happening. So that's a sign of weakness, right? Losing the 4-hour. We have an hour and 11 minutes left. We're trying to roll it back. Could this be a bear trap? Definitely could. Let's say we get 34.64 back on Inge. Hour and 10 minutes. Same thing with Solana. 99.39, trying to roll it back. I would definitely be looking for longs, right? That 4 hour is going to be important. Are we going to take that back? We got some time to look at that probably across the board. Ethereum looks a little bit better. All right, here's a 4-hour unbiased, right? This is a previous chart. I didn't really change anything. Here we go. Here's the 4-hour, nice and clean. Ethereum is holding the 4-hour support. So just something we're looking at here. Ethereum looks a little bit stronger. That's a good sign, right? If we were to bounce. I was looking at Bitcoin dominance yesterday. If you came to the stream yesterday, you saw this. We literally were going over this. So we have this 4-hour support resistance right here on Bitcoin dominance, right? We obviously had a very strong bounce for Bitcoin. And that strong bounce was the 2-3 days before New Year's. Eve, and it was choppy. And the reason it was choppy is because Bitcoin's sitting there grinding down to a higher low that people kind of mismeasured. But if you go over to Bitcoin, it was actually a nice clean. Here's the 4 hour, right? It was nice and clean trend. You could just use the wicks though. That's what I like to use when you're looking at that kind of stuff. Just use the wicks, all right? Then you can use some bodies and confirm it, right? Here is the bodies. Here is the bodies. You know, I'm going over the basic stuff, fam, because you may miss this. That's all right. And here's the bodies. These are higher lows, right? So you never had to really worry about the Bitcoin trend being, although it did chop you out of some alts. And if you were paying attention to the same levels we're talking about today, that 4 hour right there, we held that 4 hour during that chop on Solana. We held that 4 hour during that chop on Inge here into a falling wedge that broke out. So again, we're watching this 4 hour on a lot of these alts in Solana and stuff. You lose that's the cue for me to short. Could we deviate down here? Certainly, definitely could. But Bitcoin dominance right now, the reaction, we'd like to see this going back to this, man. We do like to see this reaction. It was a pretty good reaction, but it's been simply a back test. It could have simply been a back test bounce. Bitcoin dominance, look at this. All right, fam. Obviously, we haven't seen a bounce. Have a green 1 hour candle, 9 minutes left. Bitcoin does not look like a green 1 hour candle. I argue this is bottomless still, right? You could simply wait for a green 1 hour candle and be patient. You don't need to try to gig along a liquidation candle like that. And with plenty of wick to fill back. So be patient. And but going back to Bitcoin dominance, right? We have 3 green hour Bitcoin dominance, which suggests Bitcoin charge right now. Alts have not settled down. And I'd be a little concerned. This is the 1 hour. I'd be a little concerned with a 1 hour breach here. Okay. Every chart has technical analysis. Even VIX, if you want to try to read the VIX is volatility. You measure the volatility the S&P. So when you have pumps or dumps, that's going to have volatility, have kind of steady climbs, a lot of bots. Like there's extreme low volatility right now in the stock market. It means it's really bot driven. You read about this stuff and learn that. But the VIX is a very ugly chart, fam. I'll go over here. I'll click on it. It's a very ugly chart. All right. Some people would try to break this down, but this has TA2, just like Bitcoin dominance. So here's a nice level. VIX, this daily, right? Nice level in the VIX, right? Oh, look, they've deviated and breached down this for a few days. Really fucked people over here that were maybe buying calls or puts, whatever you want to call it, trapping calls and puts options for VIX. So I was only using this as an example. This is a very ugly chart. Some people, this has technical analysis. Hey, there's the same thing I'm doing right now on VIX, much harder chart. Bitcoin dominance isn't that hard of a chart. In fact, I've been using this chart for years. You can look at all my work done. This is previous work done. But go over here and we're watching this 1 hour. I'd be pretty concerned if you're trying to long alts here. And here we are, right? We have a very clean 1 hour support resistance with 5 minutes and 46. What are we talking about? This is not bullish for alts. 1 second. Anyways, we're gonna watch this for the next 5 minutes. There we go. All right. My bad. Well, bad. All right. So, anyways, Bitcoin down. I think, you know, look, we got 4 minutes left. This could definitely come back down. Our alt's going to take some here, but I'll tell you what, this alts are trying. Alts are trying to take some dominance back from. All right, look at this. See, this is why I wasn't trying to long. This is like a bad breach here, fam. Meme line breach, but that's not strong to me. That's a fake out. They're just trying to trap people. Patient. I mean, like, honestly, this is going to be an easy short. 1 hour, easy short, baby. Could argue you took a short. I'm favoring a short, not longs. I'll tell you that. So public size. Godba 6. Thank you. Follow. Q. Oh, Q. Thank you for that follow. Missed you. Oh, my mic is cutting out? I don't know why that is.
I see my own reflection, craving for attention, longing for salvation in the middle of the night.
Hold on a second.
As far as the eye can see, as long as the sea is deep, as long as my soul is free, I'm alive.
It's good now. Well, you know what? Sometimes it's when the music's going. Honestly,
Love over lust.
sometimes it's with the music going. If it was it when the music wasn't going,
Love is fire.
it's good now. All right. So Ranger, Sun F, Dirk, yo, thank you for the follows. So, anyways, look at Bitcoin, right? Obviously, downtrend. Got a little meat going. This that great. Check that 1 hour. Yeah, that looks. I mean, it had a nice rejection here, but tell you what, it looks like it could continue. I see a nice break of this. Okay. Anyways, 1 hour here watching this. Want to see if they could breach this. That's going to be 1 hour Bitcoin. Argue that deviation ugly thing tells me down. This is not a time. Look at how that meme line breakout player along the meme line. Why you got to use it? Simply wait for that 5-minute crash. We're gonna see how they're doing. Ridiculous. This is how you gotta look at it. Failing to cross the 3-minute. This nothing to 1 minute. You know. All right, look, crossed it, and really, and then now it lost. Like we don't even have the 1 minute trend on Solana, and I'd hate to be funding. Let's check funding. That's really him. You all know I love to look at funding. I'll teach you about the funding and teach you it, and then tell you what to be. What's the things to look at on funding? Want to go down and look at, obviously you have the big boys, AX, Being X, Big Get, Buck Bybit, got Binance, Dearbit, all got the big boys. All got the big boys. I don't like to look at, not the one you look at. a funding for, okay, and you can see obviously heavily long across the board for the most part. X exchange, but their Bitcoin, Doge, ARB, all these heavily, again, this one. Look at current, okay. I want to start on the 1 day, then kind of work the current. Well, everything's pretty level right now. Obviously, longs got wiped out. So what you're going to pay attention to is there a bunch of shorts? No, there's not a bunch of. There's not a bunch of longs, but it starts creeping. Some of these exchanges, here we go. Bitcoin have some long funding across the board. Long Solana 4%, 9%. These Ripple XRP Army, fam. XRP Army is long to the tits. 9%, 7%, 0.5%. People asking me if I want a long XRP. Ain't no way, dude. ARB hit $2 for XRP. It did it in a month. ARB. This is concerning, right? Most part net neutral finance, but on finance, ARB is still long. Longs are still paying shorts, okay? So red means don't long, okay? That's what red means. How you remember this, okay? Red, green means long. You see this all filled up with green, like at 25K, 20K, 20K previously this year, then you're going long, right? If red, maybe not go long. Careful setups. Again, we could see a bounce here, but I like to look. Obviously, that this little wick that we saw here really good job of white. Now, just looking again at the 1 minute time frame, so Solana finally has taken the one trend. Let's see if it gets. But look, what happened, right? It's 10:02 Eastern time over here, and it was 2 minutes. 2 minutes, man. Right? Hourly, we have a one. Right? So first 2 minutes of the hourly candle, right? So paying attention to that. It doesn't mean necessarily this is the bottom. No. In fact, I would prefer coming down and filling some of this 1 hour wick minimum. Minimum Bitcoin. Give me a little wick down here. Went straight up. Look at this. So you're watching things like this and you're like, all right, first couple minutes of the 1 hour candle, we're pumping. Does that mean we're necessarily bottom? No, it doesn't. It actually means grabbing some more longs, come up here. You know, say we get to 43.2, which is another resistance level on Bitcoin we're gonna need to watch. Come up there, get reject, have a wick down, and then hey, good thing you longed, right? That could totally happen the next. But right, we're looking at that 4 hour, right? Bitcoin, right? We're looking at the 4 hour level. Take back that, all right. 4 hour on in. Take back that. Not very far from it. Hour left. Could this just rip? Yes, it could. I just don't. Again, I'm going to be patient here. We have plenty of upside on alts. Bitcoin sure gives us bounce here. Say Bitcoin bounces, rises, have plenty of upside. Don't need to rush it. Now our long and all continues up. That's gonna be the question. Come back down this next hour. Long some all. Bitcoin dominance start getting a rejection here. It's been climbing for the last 3 hours. Even I mean, we look. This is a clean rejection. Don't. This right here was basically alts had to survive. This like, all right, this gotta survive. That's basically what that wicket. This is alt surviving after Bitcoin dropped $3,000. I mean, at one point I'm making breakfast at 5.3. Thought it wasn't I mean, why you gotta use stops? That is, why would you long? This is this long here. This was the long. We talked about this on stream. Wait for the wick down here. This bounced great perfectly, but then you made a lower high and then off some fake news. Yeah, it went down about $4,000. $3,800 is a matter of hours. Could there be a reversion here? Totally. Oh, let's check out the CME gap. I know. Okay. Okay. Look at this, fam. Good. This is good to look at, right? So, uh, build the CME. All right. Build the CME. And let's see. See if it can hold. I mean, who do you think? Who else do you think sold their? Who else do you think sold Bitcoin? I know Kathy Woods was selling her Bitcoin. Grayscale. Whales, baby. Whales is the answer. Mike is cutting out bad, bro. Fuck. All right, I'm just gonna have to start the stream. Yeah, I'm not talking.